Hi everyone, welcome back to Coffee, Books, and Rain. I'm Rachel. I have my coffee here in my big cup. Well, actually you can't see it. I have iced coffee today from a local company here in Huntsville called Angry Eyebrows Coffee, and happened to run across them and bought some of their coffee. One of the cool things they did was they gave me free local delivery, so they dropped it off here at my apartment. Another thing was that I ordered some cold brew, and for a set price, I got these two little jugs of it, and it is fantastic. It is some of the best cold brew I've ever had. It's very smooth. It's very cocoa-y. I love it. So definitely going to be buying some more. But I just wanted to mention Angry Eyebrows Coffee, and it's got a cute little owl with a little cocked eyebrow. I can't do the little one eyebrow lift. I just, yeah, no. I can't isolate one eyebrow to do the thing. But anyway, we're diving into a book called Dungeon Crawler Carl 2, Carl's Doomsday Scenario. So just recently, I started diving into the Dungeon Crawler world. I had heard a lot about it and definitely was looking for a series to just kind of sink my teeth into. Funny enough, I didn't even realize until also recently that I had books 1 through 4 in my audiobook collection in Audible. So I am currently just about to start book 4, but I need to record book 2 for you guys, and then I will probably record book 3 pretty soon. I have finished books 2 and 3 so far. I am trying to pace myself because I do have other books due for NetGalley that I need to read. So, but we're going to dive into this book pretty quickly, and it is, of course, Carl's Doomsday Scenario. The training levels have concluded. Now the game may truly begin. Ratings and reviews are off the charts. The fans just can't get enough. The dungeon gets more dangerous each day, but in a grinder designed to chew up and spit out crawlers by the millions, Carl and Princess Donut need to work harder than ever to just survive. They call it the Overcity, a sprawling, once thriving metropolis devastated by a mysterious calamity. But these streets are far from abandoned. An undead circus thralls the ruins. Murderous prostitutes rain from the murdered prostitutes rain from the sky, and an ancient spell is finally ready to reveal its dark purpose. Carl still has no pants. They call it Dungeon Crawler World. For Carl and Donut, it's anything but a game. So I understand completely why this book series has such a phenomenal following. I have really enjoyed the chaos and adventure and whimsy of this world. And you're like, Rachel, whimsy? Like, what are you talking about? Yes, I said whimsy. I did. I said it. Because there is just so much going on, and this book likes to kind of poke fun at a little bit of everything in pop culture and modern society and all the rest. So, yeah, it's whimsical in my personal opinion. It's absolutely fantasy. I've been doing the audiobooks, sci-fi, fiction, humor, all the rest. It is also dystopia as well. Now, I kind of wish I had gone to the Matt Dinniman table when he was at Dragon Con in Atlanta this past Labor Day weekend. I had the opportunity, but I only went to Dragon Con like one day this year, and I've already bought my 5-day pass for next year. So I plan to go some more. So I'm hoping he comes back and maybe I can get like an autographed book or something. But really, I missed that opportunity not only for Matt Dinniman, but for T. Kingfisher as well. I just never made it to the building with the authors. And it's because Dragon Con is so big that I just never had that chance. And that was, bad time management on my part. But, okay. There's a lot going on in Dungeon Crawler Carl number 2. In book number 1, we address levels 1 and 2. Now, the crawlers are given X amount of days in order to make it through the levels and find the next staircase. For Carl and Donut, they are doing pretty good. They're leveling up. They're amassing a following with their chaos. And, they are becoming a bit of people to watch in the world of the dungeon crawlers, because both of them are just absolutely chaotic. No one else is or has a cat that like Princess Donut. And honestly, Carl runs around barefoot in his boxer shorts and a beat up leather jacket and a few other accessories, but that's about it. He's got several toe rings. He's got a couple rings on his fingers. He's got some tattoos from various events as well. And so I thought, so once we enter this particular level, it's kind of like, they call it like the overworld, but it seems to be more like a city-like scenario, where the other one, I feel like, I guess I was picturing it more like Fallout, where there are empty spaces and then you're kind of like, you run into cities. This one feels like a big sprawling city in my personal, like the way I was picturing it. And there's a couple different little things going on. So one of the ones is Carl kind of accidentally agrees to take on his first quest. And so this particular quest is one that Mordecai does not really want him to take, but they also, well, okay. In book number 1, we meet Mordecai. Mordecai was kind of like their guide when they would go to like these little, I don't want to say safe rooms, but he's kind of like their guide. So at each level there would be a room, they could go find him, and then they could talk to him about various things of the dungeon. Well, when they get to level 3 and they get to pick their player races and classes, Carl picks something called Primal. So he doesn't really change his look too much. I assume it was just a little bit more like caveman-esque, but honestly, he said it doesn't change his look too much. Princess Donut picks cat. She is not choosing any other race but cat. She's very proud to be a cat. And so we now have their races, and which didn't really change, which is kind of fun, kind of nice, because we do see some of the other people that we've run across taking on different forms. I think is it book number 2? No, it's book number 3 where Mordecai is forced into this like frog-like race, and I just like the audiobook drove me crazy because he kept kind of croaking in the middle of his like conversations, and it drove me mad. But anyway, we're not talking about book number 3. We're talking about book number 2. Mordecai, because Princess Donut chooses this particular class where she is a previous child actor, because she's like, of course I could be, she's got all this charisma and stuff, so she's choosing something that's very much going to like bump her up and be like a celebrity style or celebrity type character. She chooses this child actor class, and that's when Mordecai becomes her manager. So now, instead of them having to go and find Mordecai, they now have to or he now has to kind of follow them a little bit. If they enter a safe room, he is instantly like transported into there with them. Like, he doesn't have to go on the journey with them or wander around the dungeon with them or accidentally get into trouble, but he can't really, he's slightly immortal because of his role. He is an NPC, but still kind of sentient. He's not playing a role. I have this fly that is absolutely driving me wild, and I just got buzzed, and is like, I can hear him. I can hear it. Ah, so sorry. It's driving me crazy. Anyway, so Oh my God. Okay. I don't know how this fly got in here, but of course, it finds me and decides to be like right here near my face. Um, okay. So, Mordecai, he's more or less, I don't want to say impervious, but he is a little bit indestructible. Um, but now he has to tag along with them. And so he's a little bitter about it. But anyway, and Carl he chooses this kind of like anarchy class, so which seems to fit well with his blowing things up and just general chaos. It also seems to work with the fact that there's a bit of this underlying theme of wanting to overthrow this corporation that puts on this show. So we do have one particular obstacle where we have to almost dismantle this very creepy circus with a skull-faced bear on roller skates. That was terrifying. And then we also have this quest that I mentioned previously, where Carl feels bad for this one particular NPC. And so he goes and talks to her, and she is really concerned about all these women that are being killed. And so he accidentally takes on that quest. Well, it ends up being an incredibly big quest, and lots of things happen for like that are tied to that quest. Actually, more than I thought. For a period of time, I was like, wow, that's a huge quest. Like, they should have gotten a lot of stuff for that. But they don't get a lot of stuff for that because reasons. I'm not going to try to tell you all the reasons because I'm not going to spoil that. I think you guys should read this book and find out for yourself. But they go help Gum Gum. Gum Gum is the one who hires them for the what I would call reigning prostitutes quest. And again, they're falling from the sky and they're all twisted and broken. And Gum Gum goes to try to clean it up, tries to, check and see if they're still alive. If they're not still alive, then she tries to like take care of their bodies in whatever way she can. Carl and Donut both feel pretty bad about it. Mordecai told them not to get involved, but he's constantly telling them not to get involved. And that's one of the reasons I do like Mordecai, but I don't like Mordecai because his level of compassion seems lacking. And I mean, I understand he's supposed to be kind of a little bit of a counterbalance to Carl and Donut, who really care like a lot about the people who are in the dungeon with them. But the thing is Carl and Donut are currently in the dungeon with the other crawlers who all come from Earth. So there is a level of connectedness for them and the other crawlers to care about other people. Now, Gum Gum is an NPC, so she's not a crawler, so she didn't come from Earth, but he still has like that compassion. And I don't know if it starts in book number 2, but it definitely, like, I've definitely seen it several times in book number 3, but Carl is adamant that this game, this crawl, this experience will not break him. He is adamant that the things that they're throwing at him are not going to break the person that he is and turn him into something that he isn't. And I really like that about Carl. I literally, I completely understand why this book series has such a phenomenal following. Like, it is captivating. It is hard to put down. And like, I agree that, well, okay, so Chelsea, she is a reviewer on Goodreads. She said the narrator deserves a raise. And she also says a lot of other things that he deserves. All good things. But let's